3 minutes ago.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh
Well,
boy.
we'll save this for the other wins. But this is my big win for this week. We passed our SOC 2 compliance. That means we can actually go live at the end of
Great.
this month.
That's awesome.
But let's get some other wins in before I dig into this.
I go on vacation on Sunday for 9 days.
Way to
Where are you
go.
going?
Exciting.
I'm going to my sister's house in Houston,
Nice.
so our kids get to play together.
Good for you.
Very cool. Well, I think there's an opportunity here for you guys to share your victories, the things you're proud of. It's Friday. Come on now. It's Friday. Yay. We want to say yay to your wins. And I can't say yay to your wins if you don't. Well, the good thing is most of the people on this call have already shared a win, so you have to now too. You see how you felt obligated to do something right there? It's a psychology trick. I made you feel like everyone was doing it, so you wanted to do it too. Because you want to. But you don't have to. It's all right. I'm not going to force you into anything, but I am going to force Sam to tell us about this week in lending.
Oh boy, it's been a busy week. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let me show you this company, and we'll do this week in lending as well. All right, you can't see this?
Yeah, we
Yes.
shared next to your head, so we see both screens.
Wait, I know I gotta get this so I can see it now. I can see what I'm typing. Not this Leos.
It's very small. Why is it doing that, Sam?
There we go. Try to do side by side. Let me fix my sharing so it's not doing side by side. Hold on.
Yeah, we don't need side by.
Hold on. You don't need side by side. Let's just do the whole kit and caboodle. All right. So what Lumeda.ai is, this is a company that me and my two brothers have been working on for the past 2 years. But we've all heard of this thing. It's called like, what is it called? Something, I think it's Chat GPT. Yeah, Chat GPT. Yeah, we've all heard of that, right? We've used it a couple times, once or twice. Yeah.
Twice.
Conversational AI is something that's taken over like every sector of every market. The problem is because it's all open source, it none of that is like compliant or secure. So if I were to, ask a question about how to get Sheldon approved, it would take his information and store it. And then if Dan looked up how to get Sheldon approved, it would give that same information back to Dan. So it's not a very secure system. So we created the first conversational AI just around mortgage real estate. This will be something that have a lot of iterations, but the current model is something that loan officers, processors, real estate agents can use to kind of quickly look at whether or not a client qualifies, a house works, any unique scenario, kind of what I do on these calls, but in a very fast and efficient way, and have it all be secure and not to worry about, leaking private data into the internet sphere. So this is what happened this week in lending. Can you guys read this? We're gonna throw some questions at this. You guys
It
can
is.
ask.
It's kind of small on my screen, so I know it's small on someone else's.
All right, so I can give you like a real quick summary. Basically, interest rates have been coming down the past, 2 weeks because we're in anticipation of the Fed decrease. When the Fed decreases their rates, interest rates usually spike immediately. So investors can recapture some of those losses they had. Basically, it's hedging, right? So they sell low, they buy high, and vice versa. We will see rates continue to trend down towards the end of the year. Right now, they're currently sitting right at that like 6.35 for a national average, but I would expect by the end of the year to be able to lock into the high fours, low fives. Really, really basic summary. But what I want to do is have you guys ask some silly, not so silly, real and not real questions about clients, scenarios, houses even, and let's see if we can stump Lumet. Who's going first? I see Sheldon's doing his thinking pose over here.
Does new build rate incentives apply towards IPC?
Oh, hold on. I cannot see what I'm typing because I have your pictures here. Let me move this other way.
It's okay. Sam is like me. He can't spell either.
I can spell if I can see what I'm typing. Sometimes.
So I'm gonna blame it on. I can spell. I just can't see the words. That makes total sense.
Okay. Do you guys know what that question was he asked? So
I do.
okay, perfect. There we go. Michael knows. You had some experience with that.
So weird. Dan and I just talked about this yesterday.
Okay, great question. Here's how new builder rate incentives, such as funds used for permanent or temporary interest rate buydowns, are treated as interest party contributions, IPC, under the main agency guidelines. Oh man, it's scrolling too fast for me to read this. Hold on. Let's let it do its thing. Okay, so yes, they are IPCs on basically all of these. Fannie, Freddie, FHA, USDA, and VA. The way IPCs work with Fannie and Freddie is it's dependent on how much the client is putting down that they can get. So if they're putting down the normal 3 to 5%, it's 3% IPC. If they put down more than that, they get up to 9% if they're putting down 25% or more. FHA is capped at 6%, USDA is capped at 6%, and VA is capped at 4%. But that 4% is can be turned into 6% because if you can convey/document that some of the charges are customary in the market, they'd be charged regardless. Those can be added on top of normal closing costs and not be counted towards IPCs.
This would have been helpful yesterday, Sam.
Doggone it, I know.
A little late to the dance there, Bucko.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. Is this for public use now or?
So we're going through our beta testing, but I could slip a couple like logins out and you guys can play around with it. But yeah, the goal with this would be like down the road, this will be something that you have on your home search website, and a client can literally go on here, ask questions about themselves, and generate a pre-approval letter, fully underwritten within like 5 minutes.
Oh, did you hear that, Dan?
No, I wasn't listening. Say it again.
You can plug it into your website.
Yeah, this will be a plugin on your website in the coming months where a client can go on, have a conversation, and ask questions. It'll ask questions back, and basically get themselves approved in less than 5 minutes.
There we go.
No,
I mean, we may or may not be building a website right this minute. So
maybe.
No.
No, so I think this is very helpful, and I think it's something important that everybody kind of be aware of. Some of you probably already know it. But basically, the advertisement for my particular clients was, 375 plus up to 7,000 in concessions. So I guess kind of the assumption to that is the rate is 375 and then an additional 7,000. Well, after everything was said and done with what they were doing, they're being told they need to come to closing with 4,000 to 4,200, which they're okay with because if they decide to rent, they still got to come up with at least 5,000 or 6,000, for all the last month, all that stuff. But I guess if we knew about it prior to, it would have framed it a lot differently, help the expectations and be prepared for it. So
on the builder side of things, they're showing the true cost of the rate, and that's why they're capped in their IPCs, and the client's coming up with the extra 4,200. So that, unfortunately, that is sort of a dirty trick that they did. They could not show the true cost of rate, and the client could come in with zero. But it sounds, I mean, in most cases, like, there's no free lunch. So anytime that there's these crazy incentives out there, there's something with them where you can't realize the full benefit of it. I don't know if you guys ever used like Temu, but they're like, you want $100, you have to spend 500 to get your 100, but you want $100. I'm like, it's the same thing, right? So there's any one of those, there's going to be some cash to it, but yeah, they could not hide it, but there's a way on our side of things, especially if you're a correspondent lender, to not show the full cost of the rate, and that would basically allow the client to come in with zero. But they're trying to get a little bit of money back.
Well, yeah, and that was basically her response was, these new builds are are anywhere from, 9 to $10,000 for closing costs. And she's like, I just had one at 12,000, and the cost of the buy down's 40,000. And she just like was, kind of rolling those numbers out. It is what it is, but I mean, it's again, if we had known that prior to, it would have set the expectation a lot differently. In the long run, they're going to be better off regardless. Because their mortgage is still going to be possibly lower than any rental that they can get in that area. So
Yeah.
so I mean, and then of course all the benefits as well. But it's just they were kind of expecting to basically come to closing with little to nothing. So
I'm just gonna throw this out there for you, Michael, and then for anybody else. I don't need the deal to be able to help you guys with structuring stuff on the lending side. Always feel free to come to me if you have questions or if you're dealing with something complex. I can kind of help you finagle it. My mortgage is gonna be paid for regardless. I just want to see you guys win. So if you have a deal you're struggling with, I don't need the financing for it to be able to help with it. So always come to me with stuff, and I can offer my 2 cents or 25 or whatever it is. Maybe it's just a 1 cent, a wheat penny. All for my wheat penny.
Those are rare.
They are rare. I collect them.
I have hundreds of them.
Doggone it. I was trying to do something cooler than you. Yes.
Not even close.
Sorry, I came to the party a little bit late today, but what is an IFC? I don't know, and I was kind of listening to, well, I'm not kind of listening, I'm very much listening to what you guys are talking about, because right now I do a lot of videos about brand new builds, and I'm not aware of what you guys are saying. Are you saying like there's like unforeseen costs that they're not talking about? Because there's some incentives here like 2.99, as low as 2.99% interest rate if you finance with their lender.
So an IPC is an interested party contribution. Basically, in order to meet guidelines for any one of these agencies, the borrower has to come with a minimum contribution, and the any interested party they have a maximum contribution they can give towards the transaction. So an interested party would be a seller, a real estate agent, a lender, anyone who's going to benefit from the client taking on this debt and going through this transaction would be considered an interested party.
Okay, so you're saying that that's like the unwritten rule that isn't being talked about, like they're promoting these low interest rates, but there's still this little catch, which is you still have to come up with a certain dollar amount. And why is that? Do you know?
Well, so yeah, so the average mortgage rate today is what did we say it was 6.35? Yeah, 6.35 for a 30-year fix. So if they're getting 3.99, the builder is having to buy those mortgage-backed securities down to 3.99. Now there's 2 ways they can do that. One, they can include that in just their cost to originate and not show that cost to a client. However, if they do that, they don't get that right off at the end of the year towards profitability. So by showing it to the client, yes, it's counted towards their IPC, but then they can write that off as a loss. And with them buying it down 40 grand, let's use that number, that is technically an interested party contribution.
Okay. So if the builder says we are giving back a certain dollar amount to buy down the rate, then that's already that contribution?
If they show it, yeah. So there's a builder here in Washington, good friend of mine that does this on all of his builds. But he doesn't show the cost of it. So he's basically just including that in the build cost. So he's selling, a condo at 500,000. And if you use his internal lender, you get 3%. But he's holding that, it's like $62,000. He's holding that in part of his profit, and not showing that to the client to avoid IPCs. So he talked to somebody first.
Okay. Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a reason I used IPC, because I want you guys to understand the jargon, because some people out there, like lenders and other title people, will use industry jargon, not knowing that most agents don't deal in the mortgage side, so we don't know what IPCs are. Unfortunately, I do, because I have this conversation with lenders too often. But being able to just explain that to your clients what an IPC is, because some people are going to use jargon and they're going to be confused, is good for you. Especially dealing with new builds, because yep, have we always seen that the advertised special is exactly what you get? I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But there's a reason people can market and advertise certain things, and there's always fine print.
Good Lord, there's way more of these than I thought there was.
What would you put in there?
I just asked for all the real estate and mortgage related acronyms.
Jesus.
I'm putting this in the chat.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right. Who else has a question?
Put it in a PDF and put it in our WhatsApp group.
Oh, there we go. Even better.
That way it'll stay there for the ones that are in. And if you're not part of our WhatsApp group and you want to be, send me a message right now and I'll get you in. I'll get you a link to it. But great question, Michelle. Don't stop making videos around it, because the more we talk about it, the more people realize, hey, I can use a realtor to go. I think right now there's this cloud of uncertainty because people are like, I don't need a realtor. I can just go straight to the build office. Not that I love new builds, because I don't like being forced to use a certain lender, and most new builds are like, you got to use our lender. But they do offer some opportunity, like Mikey said, that people can buy a house for less than they're renting. And they have to come in with the same money they would have renting. So there's an opportunity to be had there. So communicate it, talk about it, put them out there. And not always is the lender going to be the best choice. So you might be able to use Sam on something.
Does Arizona have the 1-year builder warranty?
Yep, every house.
Yeah, I mean that's
every house.
That's like serious peace of mind. I have no idea how many clients I've gotten to a home and something happens 6 months into it and they're freaking out. So, yeah.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because those are like questions that we don't think of to ask either, because we're usually doing resale. And you just made me remember, like, oh my gosh, I need to be talking to the lenders there, about all of these policies, and like, do they offer, what did you just say? Like a warranty? I think one of them told me about that, but
warranty, yeah.
I don't even remember to ask those questions. So thank you for reminding me. Like, that's super important.
Yeah, the state mandates that 1 year. There's a lot of builders that will offer an extended time, but in order to, I think it goes with their bond. There's something to do with their licensing. They have to offer a 1-year warranty, which is good. Now, there's obviously caveats to that. I've had a couple legal battles with builders that try to refuse to fix stuff in that 1 year. So it is important to get clarification on it, but yeah, they are required to warranty their product for at least a year. What other questions, party people? Sheldon, did this pay off? Did you get anything?
Sheldon, he's
yeah,
my non-existent B.
That Native American heritage.
I don't know. The IPC thing is so confusing to me.
And that's in knowing, I think one of the best things is, okay, let's go over real quick. Of the 4 major loan types, you got conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA. 3 of them are called Govy loans because they're government backed. All 3 of them run by the exact same guidelines, minus VA. Because VA, you can buy down debt, and it does not contribute to the IPC. So you can get a seller to give you 4% and another 4% to pay off your car, so I can qualify for the loan. Conventional is how much?
Well, conventional is 3 to 9%. So it depends on
3 to 9 based on your down payment.
Yeah. The reason. Oh, go ahead.
Is it more down payment is more IPC, or less down
Correct.
payment more IPC?
More down payment, more IPC. The reason for IPCs is back in the day, this is, back in like pre-2008, there were a couple builders, I won't drop names, but they were paying massive swaths of money to clients to buy their homes and basically get them in, without any money out of pocket, and selling them a home that was worth, was 2 or 3 times more than what the actual value was. So we put IPCs in place to kind of keep that from happening.
I see.
What else, guys? Come on now.
Mm, mm, mm.
I see you, little man.
I have a question.
We got some.
And I think we already discussed this. I just can't remember what the answer was, and I'm sorry. Um, I have a buyer who's a veteran and he wants to buy a home and he's going to apply for a VA loan, but he's also sharing the cost of buying the home with his cousin who's a non-veteran. How would they go about that?
You see the screen?
Can I see the screen?
Yep.
It's awfully
It's very tiny
Man, I
for
know.
me.
Okay.
VA.
What Sam needs to do is he needs to share the window and make the window smaller so it zooms in more. Because he's got a big ass monitor.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. That's, you know what? I can do that. I can do
Oh my
that.
god, Dan! It's like you know what you're doing on Zoom. Right, guys. I've lived on Zoom since COVID. I got the Grizzlies. I've been on Zoom since before you were alive.
Okay, so not screen. Oh, here we go. Boom. All right. Is that better?
Yeah, I could.
Okay. So basically, veteran buying with a non-veteran, how's that going to work with down payment, all that good stuff? We're just going to throw that in Lume and have it explained to us. But basically, as this goes and kind of summarize this in a nice little 3-paragraph response. When you're buying a loan using the VA loan, and it's a veteran and a non-veteran, they basically the non-veteran or both of them would have to come up with the difference. So only one of them has the $36,000 guarantee. Both have to qualify. The non-veteran has to come up with a portion of the down payment. So if they're, like what's this saying, if they're buying a $400,000 home, the veteran is going to cover $200,000 of that with their guarantee, and their down payment, the cousin's down payment would be a percentage of that 200,000, not the 400,000.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, in our last 3 minutes, let me ask you guys this though. So if you were to have a plugin on your website that you could kind of go to for questions, have clients ask questions of, what's like one thing that you're like, this is an absolute must to have in a conversational mortgage AI chatbot, or something related to mortgage to plug in your website that would answer questions quickly to clients? Is it the
clean UA? The UI needs to be nice. The user interface has to be clean and not just generic. And I need to have their contact information after so many questions.
clean UI client capture? I love it.
Well, because what you have here is it's a chat bot, but let's gussy it up. Let's make it look more appealing to a conversation.
Yep, 100%.
That's what your user interface is one of those things like
Super important.
Yeah, it's super important as people look at it and they get robust.
That's why Apple sells so many dang phones, man.
They want simple, man. People want simple. I know all you Android users are like, Androids are more superior. Samsung's sandwich. Bullshit. I don't care, guys. Apple's pretty. That's all people care for. Simple, easy. We don't need all that. I don't need to be able to hack NASA through my cell phone, okay? I need to make phone calls and look at cat pictures on the internet.
And watch TikToks on how to mess with people.
Oh, those are fantastic. The best.
It's very important. Yeah, very important.
Actually, I saved one I was going to share with you guys, but I wanted to make sure that it was shareable content, because sometimes some of these things don't share very easily. And it was breaking patterns. So it's a pattern break, and we'll share the shenanigans the last minute.
Not possible, but the easiest option. Ask wrong people ignore you. Say it.
So how can I let you see this and we can share? I'll put it in our group chat later, in the WhatsApp chat. But what it breaks down to is when you break patterns, you stand out. Right? Here's a question for you, right? After this call, I'm going to shoot 4 people and a monkey.
Damn.
What's your first question?
Where are you gonna find the monkey?
Okay, so morality out the window. She doesn't even care about me shooting 4 people. She's just more worried about how are you going to find a monkey. So, because our brains are pattern recognizing. So once something shifts a pattern, the monkey becomes the outlier. It's not about me shooting 4 people, it's the monkey, right? I'm gonna go out there and how the hell are you gonna find a monkey? Versus instead of like, what, why are you gonna shoot 4 people and a monkey? What's wrong? So morality, that's just a simple challenge to your brain. But anytime the monkey exists, people focus on the monkey. So you've got 5 people wearing blue suits, you're in the green suit, you stand out. You've got 5 agents that are doing boring Instagram posts and you do one flashy, colorful one, you stand out. You become the monkey. The monkey gets remembered. But if you do something wrong and it's out of alignment with who you are, that becomes the monkey people remember. So what do? You find a different monkey for them to focus on. That's why a lot of people point and blame others. Well, no. Don't look at me. Go look at him. This is an interesting phenomenon there is I liked it because it's the psychology of attention. And in real estate, do we not have tons of a competition for attention? So how do you break it? Become the monkey. Break the pattern or stand out so much that the people recognize and remember. And another part of that is get to story selling, not facts selling. People aren't going to remember facts and details. People are going to remember feelings and stories. That's why you can't remember what you learned in high school algebra, but you can remember that one time you tripped and fell, knocked over a desk, and the whole class looked at you and you were embarrassed. Because when you stood up, you farted and everyone was like, ha, 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 ha. Right? We remember how we feel, not so much what we know or heard or saw. So, and stories evoke feelings. So get back to story selling. We'll talk more about that next week. Sam, thank you so much for your attention and gathering information for us. Look forward to playing more with the, what'd you call it?
Lume.ai.
Yeah, I love that. .ai. You know it's going to be powerful. And we've already seen it's pretty awesome. If you need him, his phone number is in the chat, 206-853-4447. Other than that, have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.